Hi guys, Mac here with Double Tap Shooting. One of the things I keep getting asked about quite a bit with my kits is the number of knives I carry, and I do probably have a lot more steel than what a lot of people, other people have. But I believe a knife is probably the most versatile tool you can have for a self-reliant situation, or STHF or BOB or ABCDE or whatever version of why you're going to be in the woods relying on yourself is. So we're going to move from my everyday carry knife to what I keep in my, my 72-hour bag is also really my everyday carry bag because I've always got it with me. However, it's always in a vehicle, it's not always on my back. So I guess the only real blade that I have on a normal everyday is my Kershaw. This is the S60V. I've had this knife for, oh god, I couldn't tell you how long. It's a great knife. I use it from everything from a bottle opener to a pry. I pry with it, do everything with it. So that's always in my pocket. It's got handy little quick flip opening deal on the back. This was my everyday, got it with me everywhere I go knife. Now in my kit that I carry, I've got a big knife, and I do carry a belt on my hip or in my bag. If I'm not wearing a belt, I can put my belt on. But the first thing I have is my Gerber motor tool. This is the Flick, F-L-I-K. I just bought this one. My old one was kind of getting worn out and all that. I couldn't find it. Mine was the original EOD version from the Army. Still have it. And I mean, it's for the most part still operational. It's getting kind of wore out. But it's got two blades on it. It's got this handy dandy little saw blade on it here. Or no, I'm sorry, not saw blade, serrated blade, which is razor sharp. And on this side I've got just a Tano Edge fine blade knife. Now the multi-tool isn't a catch-all knife. This is not a knife that you would have a hard time beating on this thing trying to split wood or whatever. But in this kit I found this handy dandy little pocket back here, and I modified, well, not hugely modified, but I have another Kershaw, which I really like Kershaw knives. This is the Vapor 2. It had a belt clip on it on this side. This was my carry. I carried this knife in my pocket before I carried that one. But it fit down in there just nice and dandy. Anytime I'm going out into the woods, this goes on my belt. So, I've always got it in my quick kit here. Excuse me, my 72-hour kit. Or when I go out into the woods, go out fishing, any kind of woods environment, away from normal day life, this goes on my hip anyway. In here I also carry, it's more of a survival situation knife. This one's made by, who is this thing made by? United Cutlery. It's not a very expensive knife. It's not something that if I break it I'm going to be heartbroken. It's got a pretty aggressive saw back on it, you can see. And you can saw through wood with that thing. I doubt it would last very long. Like I said, this wasn't a very expensive knife. But however, this one does have a place for me to put in the handle. The good old Rambo fashion knives. It's got a compass in the handle, and I keep a fishing kit in there with just some sinkers, some fishing line, and some various size and hooks. And then this is where I begin to wrap my paracord extras on there. I've got a lanyard on here that's easily quickly removed the way the sheath's set up. Take my lanyard off and have separate this knife from the sheath. But throw this on my hip real quick, and have access to a large fixed blade knife that I can hammer on, and it'll take some hammering. It's probably, like I said, this is not super high quality steel. This is a $50 knife, not a $500 knife. I've wrapped the front of the case here, which it does have a sharpening stone. I don't know if you can see the white behind it, but there's sharpening stone on there. And I've wrapped it in paracord. Between the lanyard I made here and the paracord front, there's probably, I don't know, 30 feet of paracord there. This one, now, if you can see in there, I've got it packed with cotton. That is not Vaseline soaked cotton. I've thought about it a couple times, but being that I keep my primary carry caliber, which is 9mm, I keep 8 extra rounds in there. This was actually designed to hold four rifle cartridges, but I throw 8 147 grain hollow points in there for spare ammunition for one of my Glocks, or my Glock I typically carry. So that's one of the kits that's what I keep in this bag for a big knife option. In my little outdoor safe, and I profiled these guys at a time. If you go to outdoorsafe.com, and no, I don't work for them, I just think these kits are handy. Inside this kit, with everything I also carry, I have another fixed blade, or breakover blade knife, lock blade, whatever you want to call it. This is the Kershaw. I think it's a Ridge Runner, something like that. Another good knife, solid. This one is, I keep exceptionally sharp, and it's just another option to have a lock back knife. So, to my knowledge, that is all the knives I carry in this pack. Well, it's not really a knife, but I'll curtail it too. Now, I don't carry an axe on my my 72-hour pack. I carry a this is made by Gerber, and I got a bunch of Gerber stuff. I love Gerber stuff. This is and it's got a little belt sheath on there. I can throw this on my belt if I need to, but it's a little folding saw. You can do a lot of effective work with a folding saw that you're going to have a hard time doing with a axe, especially if you don't know how to run an axe. And believe it or not, a lot of people do not know how to effectively run an axe. I actually need to call Gerber because it looks like this might just be starting to break. I use it quite a bit. I do need to look at replacing that soon, because obviously the handle's broke on it. That might be a bad thing for Gerber. I might have to look at finding a different option for that. But it does come with an extra replacement blade. Even if this thing did break, I could make a makeshift handle for it and still be able to use it. It's not that hard if you have a little bit of inventive skill about you and some 550 cord. And, there's a 100-foot roll of 550 cord. So anyway, we're going to go on to my what some people would refer to as a bug out bag. I don't call it so much a bug out bag as I do my extended stay kit. Now I keep quite a bit of steel on here, and it's going to be real hard for me to see and put in that camera. First knife I carry on there, and this is probably what I would consider my true bushcraft knife. I use this thing for everything. As you can see by the blade, it's been well used. I broke the tip off and put tip on it, and I can't count how many times. It's probably ready to be replaced permanently. This is the quote-unquote Glock bayonet. Again, I've wrapped the sheath some with paracord. Good, solid. Have a hard time destroying that knife. The sheath's made out of polymer plastic. Just good, solid, run-of-the-mill. Do everything with it. I guess about an 8-inch blade knife. I love this sheath because obviously it doesn't fall out. But quick thumb brake type option on there, and out comes your knife. You can mount it vertically if you want to. For putting it on your pack straps or whatever. Be easy to mount it vertical, not have to worry about it coming out of there. It will not pull out of there until you defeat that safety, and then it's just quick and effective. The other knife I put on my pack, and I can't really pull the sheath out, but this is a standard M9 bayonet. U.S. Army issue. Another solid piece of steel. Again, you can beat on this knife, use it to pry stuff apart, break stuff. I mean, it's just a solid piece of steel. It's got your blood lead in there for if you're going to use it for a true bayonet, and this will clip on the front of an AR-15 or an M16 if you have the evil bayonet lug on there that we all tried to, ban because there was just way too many drive-by bayonettings. But anyway, and then last but not least, get my bayonet put back up over here. The last thing I carry attached to my pack, again, I like Gerber, is this is the Gerber, I don't even know what it is, it's a machete. I don't know if there's a model number on it or whatever. It's got a good machete edge on it. Contrary to popular belief, you don't need a fine shaven level edge on a machete. Now, one thing I intend to do with this, and I'll probably put a little bit of a finer edge on this last 4 or 5 inches right here, grind it down, get a good cutting edge on it. I bought this one because of the sawback. And as you can see, I haven't taken this out and put it through the mill yet. However, I have another one that I keep in my truck, same exact thing. This one, because it's new and pretty, is the one I put on my pack, the one I keep in the back of my truck. I have beat on that thing. Can't seem to break this. These are full tang to my understanding. If they're not, I would be shocked. This sawback that I have here, that I use, the other one I have sawed and sawed and sawed. It's as good as that little folding saw, if not a little bit better, because you can get quite a bit longer stroke on it. But it's the same blade design that's on that saw, and just a phenomenal piece of steel. As far as a good, solid, effective tool to have in the woods. Like I said, I believe that knives are everything in the woods. It's going to be kind of tough for anybody to survive any length of time without a good piece of steel. I keep a lot of blade options around for the different things that I do. Multi-tools are great. They have a lot of stuff that goes with them. But again, this is not a fighting level knife, or I guess you could skin a critter with it if you really needed to. But it's just, to me, it's not designed to do that kind of stuff. That blade there is going to be just awesome for cutting through seat belts and stuff like that. The other tools on here are just some stupid screwdrivers. It's a very good pair of pliers, honestly. But and if you don't know, on a Gerber, if you pull down on the locks, you'll push up your other little blades. There's a can opener on there and a little Phillips head screwdriver. On the other side, we've got I guess that's supposed to be a punch or an awl, maybe a little Phillips or flathead screwdriver, and then another can opening option, which always handy to have. But that's the blades I carry. Those are the knives that I keep in my kits for different reasons. Like I said, anytime you can find an extra hidey hole to put a decent knife, it's a good thing to do. Because the last thing you want to do is be out and have game and not be able to skin it, not be able to make a spit to cook it or something like that. I mean, you can always find, even if you find roadkill. Not that there's a whole lot of roadkill if you're in a survival situation. If you're in a survival situation, you found roadkill, you're at a road, just hang out there, somebody will find you. But any questions or comments? I know guys go out and spend thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on knives. I don't. I mean, my Kershaws, my pocket knives are $100 knives. I think you can buy these Glock bayonets for 50, 60 bucks. I guess you could probably get them cheaper than that. I've had that one forever. I bought my boy his about a year ago. He's got the Cool Desert Tan one, but same knife. These are, to me, are just great bushcraft knives because you can just hammer on these things. And as a matter of fact, my blade's a little bit bent from being pried and bent and tweaked on and all that, but you know, if I had to pick one of the blades around here that I had to take, that was my one choice, that'd be it. This is the one this would be my final. I gotta pick one, I'm taking this. Yeah. The M9 bayonet would be a close second. I don't know. I guess depending on what kind of self-reliant situation I'm in, whether it's a true survival situation or if it's just a, an end of the world situation where I'm gonna have to be fighting for my life, I might have to think twice about it. Honestly, be trying to take them both. But anyway, put a little bit of thought into your knives. Have one more than one because they get lost, broken. People get the bright idea they're going to try and make a spear out of them and then they lose them. Whatever. Kind of the old adage, if you got one, you got none. If you got two, you got one. You got three, you got two. You always plan on losing one or breaking one or not working or something happening no matter what you got. So redundancy is great in any kit. So appreciate you watching. Appreciate questions and comments. If you like the kind of videos I'm putting out, feel free to subscribe. It doesn't go in that kit. Any other questions you might have, I'm happy to try and answer them, or if I can't answer them, I'll sure find somebody that can. Appreciate you watching. You have a good day.